You replay the conversation in your head. Not once, not twice, but over and over. Like a film you can't stop rewinding. You remember the pause before they answered, the way they laughed, or didn't. The tone in their voice when they said, "Yeah, no problem." You dissect every word you said, every reaction you got, searching for proof that you said the wrong thing, that you were too much, that you made them uncomfortable. And even when the conversation went fine, maybe even great, you still can't let it go. You analyze it like it's evidence in a trial where you're both the defendant and the judge. This looks like anxiety. It feels like self-sabotage. But what if it's actually your brain trying to protect you from something it learned to fear a long time ago? You're not broken for doing this. You're not overthinking because you're paranoid or insecure or socially inept. You're doing it because your mind has learned that being misunderstood is dangerous, and so it runs diagnostics. It checks for cracks. It tries to make sure you're still safe, still accepted, still okay in the eyes of the person you just spoke to. This behavior doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. And it makes sense. Let's start with what's really happening here. When you replay a conversation over and over, you're not just remembering it, you're scanning it for emotional threats. Your brain is asking, did I say something that could change how they see me? Did I reveal too much? Did I come across wrong? And the reason it asks these questions isn't because the conversation was bad. It's because at some point in your life, you learned that how people perceive you directly impacts how safe you are. Maybe you grew up in an environment where tone mattered more than words, where a shift in someone's mood meant you had to adjust, fast, where being misunderstood didn't just hurt your feelings, it changed the entire emotional temperature of the room. So your brain developed a system, a way to keep you safe. And that system is hypervigilance. You learn to read between the lines, to notice what isn't said, to track shifts in energy. You became fluent in subtext. And now, even in low-stakes conversations, that system is still running. This is why you can have a perfectly normal interaction with a coworker, a friend, even a stranger, and still spend the next 2 hours wondering if you said the wrong thing. It's not because you're insecure, it's because your nervous system was trained to treat social interactions like puzzles that need solving. And replaying the conversation is your way of checking your work. You're looking for the moment where things might have shifted, the sentence where you might have lost them, the joke that might have landed wrong. You're searching for the error, and here's the thing. You're not doing this consciously. You're not choosing to spiral. Your brain is doing what it was taught to do, protect you from rejection by making sure you didn't accidentally trigger it. Think about how this shows up in your life. You send a text and immediately reread it 5 times, wondering if the tone came across right. You finish a work meeting and replay what you said during the Q&A, convinced you sounded unclear or defensive. You have a great dinner with a friend, and on the drive home, you're already replaying the part where you interrupted them, wondering if they noticed, if they minded, if it changed how they feel about you. And even when people reassure you, when they say, "No, you were fine," or "I didn't even notice that," you don't fully believe them, because your brain isn't looking for reassurance. It's looking for certainty. And certainty is the one thing social interactions can never give you. But here's the part nobody tells you. This behavior isn't just about fear, it's also about control. When you replay a conversation, you're trying to rewrite the outcome in your mind. You're testing different versions of what you could have said, what you should have said, what might have gone better. You're running simulations. And in a strange way, that gives you the illusion of control over something that's already over. You can't change what happened, but you can control how much you think about it. You can control the narrative in your head. And for someone who's spent a lot of their life feeling like they couldn't control how others perceived them, that mental replay becomes a coping mechanism. It's painful, yes, but it's also familiar. And sometimes, familiar pain feels safer than uncertain peace. As you get older, this behavior doesn't disappear. It evolves. In your 20s, you might overthink every conversation because you're still figuring out who you are and how you fit into the world. In your 30s, you might overthink less frequently, but when you do, it cuts deeper. Because now you're not just worried about being,